loss, and we handed it to them in every way possible. But like you said, it was fantastic to see everybody kind of got in there. They got some points, some stats on the board. It was fantastic, and Adu especially. He's just been really inconsistent all season. I mean, he's had games where he's scoring 6 points, and we just saw him last night put up 23. I mean, he had a little double action too. It was really great to see everybody get involved and just perform an absolute smacking to everybody.
Yeah, because this is not a good Arkansas team. We should have done something similar to A&M. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, as you said, yeah, we were very angry going into this game, and we took care of business.
I love it. I think this was also bounce back wins the balls after a very tough road loss, if you will, in College Station at Texas A&M, where Buzz Williams' team they did everything right, and they hit twice the amount of threes they hit normally in SEC play, and Tennessee wasn't able to get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. So I know Arkansas isn't that team; they aren't that good in SEC play. However, going into their house in a rowdy environment and getting that big win in the night game is a huge step in the right direction for the Vols. And we're looking at Vandy tomorrow night at home. Not the biggest opponent by any means, but Vandy also just beat Texas A&M. So Vandy always, guys, wants to get a win against the Vols. What are you looking for Saturday night? Just trying to shut down the Commodores early and often.
So they've struggled pretty mightily in the SEC so far this year, but they have won 2 games recently, 2 of the last 4 in SEC play. And yeah, you're right. They always play as hard every single time. But with this game being in Thompson Bowling Arena, and them just not being, up to par, their team being up to par with our team, I'm just kind of looking at it similarly to how I looked at it with Arkansas, just handle business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they play hard, especially against us, like you said. It's a rivalry that they like to make their presence known. And I feel like last time we played them, we were down at the half. I think we were down by a couple points, and sure enough, second half came around, and we gave it to them. But I feel like we cannot panic. I feel like that's the key. Is they're going to be playing hard. We have to expect that. We can't panic, because when we panic, what we do is we just completely forget about play calling, and we chuck up shots that we shouldn't. So I think the key is, they're going to be playing hard. We have to realize that. So let's calm down and run our basketball. Let's run our game.
Yeah, got to watch out for Ezra Mannion. I got the chance to see him in the SEC tournament last year. He really caught my eye. Very good, shifty guard.
They don't go away. You let them play down to the level and we have lost the they play very low. I don't think they're talk about that game here. This was at home. So that is going to be guys, in the last 2 games, by 20 Arkansas going into a run and hitting over 100 on the target. But we've also seen a team suffer a home loss, South Carolina, and not score the basketball, and suffer a brutal watch of a road loss in College Station. It's just and so my question is this team cut out to win an SEC title, an SEC tournament title, or even try to make and second the lead in program history, even sniff a Final Four? Because right now, it seems like when you only win 5-6 games in a row in March, this team hasn't shown yet that that's possible. Guys, official, your thoughts on that kind of two-way team that Tennessee?
So yeah, big picture is what I think you get into right here. We have one of the best offenses we've had in a long time, but it's interesting because our defense is lacking. And to me, what sticks out when you watch these games is our closeout on 3-pointers is awful. We're either not getting up into the shooter well enough or being too aggressive and letting them drive right by us. I think that's something that we've done well in the entire Rick Barnes era. So it's really odd to see that. So I'm more optimistic with this team because usually offense is the problem. And I think we have that figured out this year. We've seen big games from pretty much everybody on this roster except for Vescovy. They're talking 20-point games or 10 assist nights like Zakai did a few weeks ago. So I still have Final Four hopes for this team. But it's just it comes down to defense now, which is weird.
Yeah, I feel like, whenever you turn on the TV to watch the Vols, or even when you're in in Thompson Bowling, you just don't know, what team you're going to get. Is it the team that's on or the team that's off tonight? And I think it has to do with, our start. How do we start the game? Do we start it off, with making these shots and playing good on defense, or is it, we're just letting them drive right by us? But I think that it goes back to, I already mentioned it, but what do we do if they do start making their shots? Do we panic or not? And so, do we make a run into the March Madness tournament? I think so, but there's some kinks we have to work out. There's still some rust on the gears. So at the end of the day, how do we handle adversity is what I'm saying.
But they just wouldn't put up 30 points themselves, So that's been the issue. I feel like going back in the past a little bit, that's been the problem with the Vols. So now they're going, and you have that guy. You have Dalton Kane, who can be that dominant, go-get-it scorer. You just have to get back to playing Rick Barnes basketball, which is hold the opposing team to a limited number of points, play good defense. Those losses that we've seen have been where they aren't playing that great defense. You think back to North Carolina. They put up 100 points. Yes. Not good defense. You think back to, even just the Texas A&M game, letting one guy just go off and shoot 3 after 3. And it's not like those were super uber contested threes. He was getting open. And that's the issue. You have a guy that is, shooting the 3 very well tonight. You're letting him get open, and he's shooting it and drilling it in your face. Play Rick Barnes basketball. Get back on defense. Protect your own basket. Do not let them score at will. And that is how Tennessee is going to go for it and win games, because you have that score. You're going to put up points now. You got Dalton Connect. He's dishing it out to Jonas Adu. Santi is doing well as well. So you have to play Rick Barnes basketball, play that defense. The offense will figure itself out.
I think so, but also in the same breath, there was no offense against A&M. So if that happens, who's the guy to like ignite it? Is it Zakai Ziegler or is it like Josiah? Because I feel like Josiah Jordan James, every time he has at least 10 points, the Vols win. So it seems like the offense needs to take care of itself, but in the same breath, it's almost like when the offense isn't well, then they lose confidence, and then they're a little bit more sloppy on defense. So it's like with this team, I totally agree with you. I think they need to lean into those Rick Barnes maxims, if you will, of guarding well, playing really aggressive defense, and then figuring out how to get the ball down low and making easy shots. I think Connect forces it so much because other guys aren't moving without the ball or there's not off-ball screens. So I just think looking forward, if you want to win the SEC, catch Alabama, who's doesn't have the best record in the conference, but they have the best conference record. And there's a lot of tough games coming up. So Auburn's still in the mix. Kentucky's still in the mix. It just depends. So final thoughts going into this weekend. What do you guys think of the Fishbowl? Is it a win on Saturday? Vols move on?
Yeah, win this game.
Absolutely. I think we crush them, especially at home.
I don't see anything like
any sort of fight.
It's going to be like the LSU game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a 30-point just crushing. I mean, hand it to them.
Yeah, I've got to go with I've got to go with the Vols, man. I don't see them losing this one, especially not at home. I think they can come away with another one of those dominant 20-plus point wins. I mean, they handled Vandy early in the season. They'll do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it happening. And someone who is so close to winning is that Lady Vols team just last night on ESPN against South Carolina. A big time game in prime time, and the Lady Vols were in it. It's not like it wasn't close. Lady Vols were tied after 3 quarters with number 1 undefeated South Carolina, 48-48. And the Lady Vols just weren't able to get the job done in the fourth quarter, suffering an 11-point loss. Guys, was this a must-win? Do you think this is kind of the end of the road for the Lady Vols, or do you think they have a couple more chances here? Luke, I'll start with you.
I think they have a couple more chances, but it would have been an absolutely crucial one. It would have said, maybe Kelly Harper does stay here. Maybe. But,
everyone was on the edge of their seats for the first 3 quarters. I mean, I was in my dorm, saying, can the Lady Vols do this? And all of a sudden, fourth quarter rolls around. We actually had the lead at the half, but fourth quarter rolls around, and I feel like we got tired. We collapsed a little bit. But South Carolina's a team again that you don't mess with. I mean, they went 42 wins in a row, something like that. And so you can say, oh, we almost had it, but again, this team is an absolute beast of the team. It's like kind of like David versus Goliath. Would have been nice to win, yes, but I think we have a couple more chances. I mean, there's a couple more games that if we win, they're kind of some statement wins. Couple more games. I mean, but at the end of the day, it would have been nice to win, but we have a couple more chances. We don't give up on the Vols just yet.
Yeah, nobody was expecting us to win this game. We actually looked pretty good. I think that first half was some of the best basketball this team has played all year. But I mean, the lineups are just short. It's like it's an 8-girl rotation, it's really short in college basketball, and it showed up on the glass, and that's where South Carolina really got us this game. But you gotta love what Kia Jackson did to lead the whole game in points. She really held her own against the best team in the nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Rakia is a beast. So fun to watch her play. But yeah, at the end of the day, it came down to just having the shorter bench. That's what it came down to. I think the Lady Vols really could have been in it had someone like Jasmine Powell got a few more minutes of rest, had someone like Rakia Jackson got a few more minutes of rest, had Tamari Key gotten some more rest. But that being said, I'm confident for this team going forward. From what I saw in this game, from what I saw from the Lady Vols in those first 3 quarters of play against South Carolina last night, I believe that they can not only beat LSU, they could beat South Carolina in the rematch. On the road, they could beat South Carolina. I'm very confident in that after watching the way they played. It's going to come down to, can Tamari Key continue to get more minutes? Because that's something she's done all season. And since she's come back, it's been slowly. She's been adding a couple more minutes. This game, she got into foul trouble, so she couldn't really capitalize on that. And I think that's a part of the big reason why they were able to come back, is Tamari Key was out for that entirety of that third quarter and then came in the fourth quarter and just didn't look like this. It's going to come down to Can they continue to improve? Jasmine Powell doing her thing. Rukia Jackson continuing to do her thing. Continuing to get those shots up throughout an entire game, because what we've seen from her sometimes is she'll go out there and she'll dominate the first half of the game and then kind of disappear come second half. I get that you're going to be finding your teammates and other things because the focus is going to get on Rukia Jackson just naturally because that's the type of player she is. But you've got to continue shooting the ball if you're Rukia Jackson because you are a WNBA talent. That's what you do. You go out there and you dominate. You take over games. You take shots because you know you can make them. That's Rukia Jackson's role in this
confidence.
team. That's Rukia Jackson's role in this team. I honestly think the Lady Vols could have won this one had you not had Jewel Spear.
They're scoreless in 35 minutes.
Jewel Spear is a great player, and sometimes she just has those nights where she's not on. If this had been an on Jewel Spear night, this game could have gone to overtime, or the Lady Vols could have won in regulation.
Lady Vols were tied after 3 quarters, and they shot 32% from the field.
Yes. Tells you what this team is doing. They were incredible on the boards for 3 quarters. Like I said, 3 quarters of incredible play. 4th quarter, they let it get away from them. Camila Carloso kind of took over. They were struggling on the boards where the entire game they've been dominating. What they do, they have those bigs box out, and little Jasmine Powell comes in there, sneaks the ball away, and runs it up the court. It's a great strategy. It's just that doesn't work once your bigs and Jasmine Powell is getting completely tired. Jasmine Powell played 38 minutes. Rukia Jackson played 38 minutes in this game. Ridiculous amount of time for them to be out.
Yeah, Puckett was out there 36.
And by the way, shout out Sarah Puckett.
Sarah Buckets, man.
What a game from her. Had contributions that didn't show up on the stat sheet.
Muscle Shoals' finest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sarah had a great game, and I think this team, like you said, Riley, shows us they have the potential to win big games. It's just putting the pieces together because they kept number 1 close through most of this game, and other teams have not kept number 1 close. South Carolina has not been close to other teams, and the Lady Vols kept their scoring total low. They kept the rebound total high, and it was very unique in the way that South Carolina was a little frazzled at first. Like you said, Jasmine Powell was taking the ball from him.
And Dawn Staley said that in the post-game press conference. She said, it came out, Tennessee rattled us. Tennessee rattled.
Yeah, the energy was apparent. It just ran out of energy because, like you said, it was short bench.
Yeah, exactly. And so, looking forward, Lady Vols have Vandy on Sunday. When I'm looking at this team, the mantra, the idea has to be 1 game at a time. Win. 1 game at a time, because when you're in this situation at 15-9, that's what you got to do. Just win, because they went in, had a great game against Arkansas, got the job done, got a huge win, seemed like they were rolling, and then played South Carolina so close. So that's what I'm seeing with the Lady Vols. Go into the next game and win, because, guys, I don't know about you, but I think they can go beat Vandy on Sunday.
I think absolutely. I mean, if we were that close to Carolina, I mean, Vandy should be an easy task. I mean, it's Vandy again. They always make it close, but I think if we can, hang with Carolina through 3 quarters, I mean, we can absolutely take them down.
It was really fun when we played Vandy last game. They had players on their team kind of making gestures at the crowd. I'm really excited for this one, but I'm sticking with the Lady Vols.
Yeah, you had I can't think of his name for the life of me.
Pisat. Is it Pierre?
Justine Pisat. Thank you. Yeah. Justine Pisat, former Tennessee player, went and transferred to Vandy.
Right.
And she was into it, throwing up the three at the crowd after she drilled one. I mean, she was into it, had her teammates into it. It's going to be a tough one to go there and play, especially right after playing against South Carolina. They're going to be drained. A game against South Carolina is uber physical, mentally draining, emotionally draining. That's going to be a tough one to bounce back from so quickly to then go and play Vandy, because that team is going to be just as physical with you as South Carolina. It's going to be a very tough turnaround for the Lady Vols. That being said, I do think they'll come away with the win. They played them really close last time here in Thompson Bowling. I think they can go get a road win because they have to. They have to have these wins now. There's no longer okay, you have a little bit of cushion here for these road losses. They have to get these road wins if they want to make the tournament. They're on the bubble right now. They're not a lock to make this tournament. Playing South Carolina close helps, but it's not your ticket in. You've got to go out there and win at least 3 of these next 4 games that they have. That's where I think the Lady Vols are at right now.
You have to. That's what I said. And that's why I think the message has to be in the locker room is, let's go win. Let's go have fun. Let's go win, because this game against Carolina had to have given them some confidence that we can play with the big dogs. And guys, we'll see. We'll see what the Lady Vols do. Obviously playing Vandy on Sunday. Vol Men's Hoops has Vandy on Saturday. And when we come back right here on WTK's Rock Solid Sports, we're going to be talking Diamond Sports. Vol baseball kicking off tonight. It's opening day. Vol softball suffered a tough one to number 9 Sanford earlier today. And we're going to have all the recap, all the preview right when we come back on Rock Solid Sports.
Support for the Rock comes from the UT Athletic Department and the UT Lady Vols softball team, whose 2024 home season schedule at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium, just off of Neyland Drive, features
So what?
Yeah, soft too.
I had everything going in the loss.
Softball.
Yeah, we were 4-0. Number 2 ranked, I think. Something like that.
Who did we lose to?
Oh, we just lost to Stanford today.
Oh, they must be losing.
Yeah. Or I think we were.
Let's see. Yeah.
On campus location. Baseball, lady ball, softball. MLB, soccer, and friends on the big screens. Spar.com or their Facebook page.
Volunteer Radio remains on the air thanks to support from the Athletic Department. 2024 baseball policies are expected to bring in today. SEC rivals Georgia, LSU, joining allballs.com. Students need to show a valid ID card. Give the Rock Solid Sports for baseball coverage. Emma Brock, Mr. Coach Patello, and the baseballs. Good luck with time.
Hey kids, it's Derek. Hey Rob, welcome to my house. Brought to you each Friday night by Ravens Records and Rarities, located at 1200 North Central in Happy Hollow.
Bonus it's Friday as we pick up the weekends with classics from bands like The Sickness, Stooges, My Morning Jacket, Mudhoney, George Delphin,
Sniffer, Independent Luca Wizard, Wednesday, Turnstile. You'll also catch some local stuff, hip hop, Americana, metal, to go. You don't even know half the time. Every Friday at 8 o'clock, right here on 90.3 The Rock. Timmy from Out Loud Talks. How would you describe the show?
Music, blah, 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 blah.
The Funhouse is co-sponsored by your downtown destination, scruffycity.com.
Lady Vols basketball program for their support. Coach Kelly Harper and the Lady Vols.
You ever been to Elmez?
Home schedule.
Yeah.
It's Notre Dame.
Oh, maybe.
And all balls drop.
Went to one. I feel like it was like, was it Mezcal or something like that?
So,
Yeah, I just went there the other weekend. Yeah.
Go Lady Vols.
What a joke of a dinner.
At a Mexican restaurant?
No, it's maintenance.
Oh, I was like, no way. He ordered that at Mezcal. It's crazy. The chicken tendies and fries.
Smug. Hard iced tea.
Hi, I'm Tim Ferriss.
Is full.
Listen to WTK.
Yeah, they think pretty sure they know a lot about baseball, so probably carry this. So.
I can try to get in there. Again, I literally just like on my laptop earlier today.
Yeah, me too. Quit.
However, balls are getting set to go. We have the starting lineup, so we're going to start right there. Tennessee getting off the season against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Batting lineup is as follows: Hunter Hensley, Blake Bird, Christian Ward, Cannon Peoples, Billy Amick, Dylan Driley, Robin Villanueva gets a start at designated hitter, followed by Kavaris Tears and Brad Key Lowry. So interesting lineup there from the guys. Not a whole lot of surprises, Riley, but it's going to be an explosive offense. That's the bottom. Oh yeah, that's all of style. It's like ever since Buck Montello took over, it's been the ball out, shot in, and put up some run. Work. That's what they do. That's what they're going to do. Bombs. He's not going to bomb. He's not going to put a lineup out there that can't get bombed. That's what we're about to do. Absolutely. Guys in the fishbowl, obviously opening day lineup is out. There was a lot of options for leadoff guy. Hunter Hensley is getting the start there in the one hole center fielder. I could have seen Dylan Dreiling there, but like Riley was talking about, it's Tony Vitello's brand. You're not going to get time in the lineup unless you're going to get hits. And we see a lot of new faces in this lineup. Who are you guys excited to see hit tonight the most?
Blake Burke and Christian Moore. Blake Burke and Christian Moore are two guys who are chasing that home run record this year. So I'm looking for that this year. And I really like that Tony Vitello style because me personally, I don't know too much about baseball. Don't follow it very closely. But when the score is high, that's when I'm there. Like what they say, build it and they will come. And right now they're still working and building on those Lindsey Nelson innovations.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I just love the Vitello style. He's just out there to take care of business, and that's his goal. Just like hit bombs, and I love it. Again, yeah, I'll go with you here, Christian Moore. I mean, I remember him. He had a kind of a slow start last year, but at the end, he just really started to hit the ball well. He started to gather his bearings a little bit. And I looked it up, and he had at the end 3 straight multiple hit games in the regional round. Really impressive. We can expect a lot from him this year. I'm really excited to watch him.
Griffin, what are we getting out of Cannon Peoples this year?
What do we get?
Let me know.
We're in a stud transfer at the catcher position, which was the biggest hole in this Tennessee lineup last year. Whether it was Cal Stark or Carly Taylor, no knock to those guys whatsoever. However, it was the weakest spot in the lineup, and it felt like a guaranteed out by the end of SEC play and early NCAA tournament. And it was brutal to watch. And Riley, I don't know about you, but I'm excited for our catcher, like Evan Russell was 2 years ago. Now Cannon is in the horrible. He's in the cleanup spot. Our catcher could do some damage here early in this season.
That's my yes. What first of all, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I couldn't wait to say that.
Yeah, he's lying.
Hey, what NIL deals do you think he has lined up just based off of his name?
Oh my God, that's brilliant, dude. Put him on the box. Absolutely, like Wheaties. Oh my God.
Just intuition. This dude does it both. He can play in the field, like Riley said. He can sling it across the diamond, but he's also a fantastic contact hitter. He's going to go up there and give you production. That's what you want. Talk about another baseball name right behind him in the lineup. Brand new third baseman, the transfer from Clemson, whose dreams were crushed last year in the Super Regional. It's Billy Amen. And Billy can hit the ball. He's not the best defensive third baseman in the world, but I think he'll get better with more reps because in Clemson, he was playing third, he was playing first, he was designated hitter. And he came here and he told Tony Vitello, he said, look, I want to come here, I want to play. I want to play. And Tony Vitello said, we can make it happen. Here he is, opening day, starting third baseman. I think Billy Gaiman can be a great anchor to this team because he was named preseason All SEC. The dude can hit, and we saw it last year when he was wearing the wrong shade of orange to Clemson.
Absolutely, and he was one of the most coveted transfers in the portal. I think he was really just the most sought after. But like you said, he was a massive hitter last year. I think he was averaging around 400. I mean, he had 13 bombs. I mean, this dude is just going to be a massive impact on this team.
Let's talk about the position we haven't talked about this yet before we get to the rotation, which is probably the most exciting question of this team, which is different from the last 3 years, and that's the outfield. I always love talking about the outfield on Rock Solid because it's always changing. It seems like this year there's some solid dudes who are probably going to get a lot of time in the lineup, starting with Hunter Hensley, the veteran who's getting start center field, and then also Dylan Dreiling, the true sophomore who showed shades of greatness, if you will, behind the plate, Riley. So, what are you most excited for in the outfield? It's going to be a regular role for Dylan, which I'm excited about because he was kind of a utility guy where he got some starts and he had some big time hits in a pinch hitter role, but he's not a utility guy. He's an everyday type of guy, and someone else who could turn into an everyday type of guy if he stays healthy is Kavaris Tears. And Kavaris Tears has one of the biggest bats on the team, but the issue is, can he stay healthy? Guys in the fishbowl, can he stay healthy? And if he does, do you think Kavaris Tears is an everyday guy?
I think so. I actually met him a few weeks ago. I was showing him how to run replay over at the VFL studio, and he said I was asking him about that, and he says, "Yeah, he's doing yoga now. He's stretching every day, so I think he's going to stay healthy."
Yeah, I think the big question is health, and it sounds like, I mean, bro's doing yoga out there. I mean, I'm sure he's, all stretched out and ready to go, bro. But last year, he had a crucial home run against Vandy, and I don't remember exactly what game it was, but again, he has a massive bat on him. He can hit nukes if he wants to. Again, but the big thing is can he stay healthy? And I think he can. I think it's going to be a great season for him. Exactly, it's the small things. Yeah.
Objectively weaker to Omaha because of my opinion, a incredible pitching staff, a veteran pitching staff. And this year we have a pitching staff. And sophomore AJ Russell is getting started with the bump tonight against Texas Tech. What are you looking for, Riley, from AJ this season? It's going to come down to how long. Absolutely. How long? How long? How long? I think that's why. Absolutely wants to figure that out. And that's how Tony does it, though. He wants to know ASAP. And Frank Anderson's the same way. What do we need from our guys? And we'll talk about it, Drew. But guys in the fishbowl, is there someone on this pitching lineup, even in relief, that jumps out at you guys that can be an X factor and step up this year?
You said I can't say Drew Beam. I really want to talk about him. He's from Murfreesboro, and he actually is the reason my dad started watching ball baseball a little bit. So I have my eyes on Drew Beam, but I do need to get deeper in the weeds with this team and see what's going on with the pitching staff.
Yeah, out of the bullpen, to be honest with you, I'm looking at Nate Snead here. I mean, I think he's our most talented in relief right now. But yeah, I mean, if AJ Russell, he starts to get a little weary, could we see him tonight? Could we see the man out of the bullpen? But next up to Drew Beam, if we're going to talk about him, he's just an absolute beast. But not talking Drew Beam, I think Nate Snead out of the bullpen.
Nate Snead, he transferred from Wichita State. He's really got 50 and was very effective. Wichita State. And so that's why I had my eyes on Luke. And my mind.
I got you, bro.
Because I think about these transfers. I think about something like him last year, or someone like him on the scene. I think it's going to be an X factor this year. Think about guys who they come to this program to be contributors. Think about Seth Halverson coming in from Missouri and being an X factor for this team, being a starter, or being a bullpen guy. I think Nate Steve can go both ways. I think he can start to give you innings or less and be effective, or he can come out of relief and give you 3 innings and extend the ball game or 9 AJ Russell or as Andrew Secrets. But I think the anchor to this team, they call him QB1 for a reason. Justin already talked about him. It's Drew Beam. And Drew Beam has to step up to both a leadership role and just an overall composure role on the field because there's no more Chase Bell. There's no more Chase Ferguson. There's no more Seth Halverson. There's no more Henry Vincent. There's no more guys that go out there and Drew Beam has been the Sunday starter. He's been guy number 3 for 2 years. And he has crushed it in that role. But when push comes to shove, he's going to have to be guy number 1. And AJ Russell might turn into him. He showed signs of excellence last year in very, very little work. But Drew Beam is going to have to go out there and give you 6 innings, maybe 7, a good 5. And I think he has to be effective this year.
Absolutely. Boston, they've got the same ball. So you have like the guys.
He's just good dude with high character.
Good dude with somebody that I would give. So I have no doubt. I have no doubt. If he's done it on Sunday, he's giving you 7
And some games where he dropped 2 to Florida last year, Drew Beam comes out and slings it, and you get the big dub. That goes out and dominates Vandy 2 years in a row on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. So I have no doubt. I think this year and inside you will be a problem.
Which will probably be at the end of this year if it goes well. He's played for Team USA back-to-back summers. And you talk about his leadership. He was in my all leaders cohort last year, the leadership department, the athletic department. So you know that he is he's well versed there and his composure is so good. It's just those issues where the outings like against Arkansas on the road last year where runs into trouble in the first inning, can't find any of his stuff. It's like now we got to go bullpen on the last day. Well, it's going to be really hard to go bullpen on the first day of an SEC series. So I think that's where we see from all the guys, AJ Russell, Drew Beam, Xander Seacrest, Nate Steve, whoever it is, I think it's putting together these consecutive innings and strong outings for this Tennessee pitching staff because that's what this team is accustomed to. That's what this offense is accustomed to have behind them. Real quick before we hit Lady Ball softball, guys, who is your number 1 guy to watch? We've talked about a lot of the very most excited for. Dustin, I'm going to start with you. This year, who's going to break out? Who's going to be the spark plug for Tennessee baseball?
Spark plug. I just want to stick with my guys, Blake Burke and Christian Moore. I'm looking for that record, man. I want to see records be broken.
This might be, this might be unpopular, but I'm going back to Kavaris Steers. I think this is his year. He's had his health problems, he's had his misfortunes, but he has a massive bat, like you said. And I think if he swings it well, I think easily he's going to be the breakout star of the scene. This is who we're going to be talking about in a couple of weeks, months. This is our guy right here.
Like that was I think I'm just excited to see what he does with this team. I'm really excited to see how he can anchor down this pitching rotation because I love watching good pitching. I love watching college baseball. And there's been nothing better than watching the ball pitching staff the last 3+ years. So I want that to continue this year. AJ Russell, Kirby, and all these guys. I'm looking for AJ Russell to have a big one tonight on opening day. We'll switch gears just a little bit. Stay with Diamond Sports. The Lady Balls, and number 2 in the country. Great chance for them to have a great season once again. They were SEC regulars. SEC tournament champions make it all the way to the Final Four in Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series last year. However, Lady Ball suffered a tough one today, 1-0 to Stanford. Kiki Malloy was struck out multiple times. Talk about a tall task. One of the best players in all of college softball is Kiki Malloy. So, unfortunately, they dropped one, but I think the ceiling is very high for this Lady Ball team, able to beat Baylor multiple times last weekend. Just zooming out rather, guys. What's the ceiling for this Lady Ball team? What do we think? Obviously, Oklahoma, it's going to be a tall task to defeat for anybody. I think they've lost like, 5 games, something like that. Play 50 plus games a year. It's pretty absurd. What's the ceiling for this team, guys? The official will start with you.
It's as high as it can get. I'm really inspired by Riley West and her SEC Player of the Week honor with 6 runs scored, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs last week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before this game today, my point was that they were on an absolute tear. They took down Baylor. They took down, some easy opponents, reckon. But we beat UT Arlington. I think it was 15-0. Just laying the smackdown on them, just letting them know. But yeah, I was going to talk about Kiki Malloy. She had 2 strikeouts today, but she had a great game last week. And Riley West, exactly. She went 5 for 7, 714 average. These are players that we have on this team that really rise the ceiling here. I think we have, Oklahoma's going to be tough, but this is a team that I think can handle it. Absolutely.
I love getting back to what it's called World Series, trying to get to that again. If possible, it's kind of the way it looks for this late ball softball team. Tough loss to Stanford today, but they're going to bounce back because a big time game against Texas is on the way, and then Georgia Tech as well tomorrow in the Shriners Series Children's Cup. Oh yeah, Texas having it right now. That's tonight, and then obviously Georgia Tech got a hell of a night. Georgia Tech is on it, and UCLA as well. They're playing a lot of games. It's classic over in Texas. So Lady Ball softball super active, and ball baseball about ready to kick off in 10 more minutes. When we come back, we're talking NBA All-Star Weekend right here on Rock Solid Sports, because what better than the All-Star game? There's nothing better. And it's, in my opinion, the best All-Star Weekend of all the pro sports. So that's what we're talking to. We're going to lean on our NBA expert, Justin Clever, when we come back on WTK Rock Solid Sports.
I don't know how that's something with the softball team.
I researched 2 players, and then they started listing them. I was like, I've never heard of people. All I had was Riley West and Kiki Malloy, and of course, Kiki Malloy has a bad game today.
Of course, it's a bad game. Scratch some. Yeah, no. Riley West, SEC Player of the Week, was paid.
Let's go. Stat.
Baseball, I get. I understand, but I don't understand baseball.
No, I get you.
NBA, though.
This is you.
Not you?
I'll get in there a little bit. I feel like you're the man in this. This is your. I can talk about a game that happened or something like that when it's All-Star Weekend. It's like we got Justin Bieber playing our test or whatever.
Michael Parsons.
Twice a week.
Yeah. Hopefully, that's a celebrity game.
Yeah.
The only thing that actually matters is The dunk contest, kind of. It used to be a lot better than it is now. 3-point contest, sure. This year they're doing Steph versus Sabrina.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
And then the All-Star. All-Star game was terrible this year.
Who do you think's got Steph and Sabrina? Stats gallery?
I just hope Sabrina does well.
Yeah. No, that's valid.
I think Steph's got it though. Because he is still that.
I know he's had a little bit of a rough season. He's kind of slowing down, but I mean, he's still Steph Curry.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't slowed down that much, but like his buddy play, they're not really Splash Brothers anymore. It's really the Splash. It's a solo act.
Yeah, I guess.
He came off the bench last night. He did well. He's like 34. He tore his Achilles and tore his ACL.
What?
2 different seasons. So yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to be playing at super high level when you're that old.
Oh yeah, it's completely valid.
Eight till 10, only on 90.3 The Rock. The Fun House. Proudly ready to break by ScruffyCity.com.
Who can it go just had a dunk?
We are talking NBA All-Star Weekend. Guys, it's already kicked off. The celebrity game going on right now as we speak.
Hookah's already dunked it. Hookah Nakua and Michael Parsons both have dunks already.
Hookah getting up there.
CJ Stroud's the other NFL player in it. Need it.
All that good stuff. Then obviously the game on Sunday. Justin, I talked pre-show a little bit. You were voting on who you thought was going to win all these.
Dude, you know what you're doing. Yeah, I'll say it. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I think he plays to the crowd, and he is playing in his home crowd of Indianapolis, Indiana Pacers. So he is a guy who rises to the occasion. You know, when the fans get louder, he's gonna do some Magic Johnson behind the back, between the legs, assist, alley-oop to, I guess, Giannis in this situation. And he's got the clip from 3. Griffin, I think he's gonna score a lot of points and get a lot of assists, stuff the stat sheet, and take home that trophy. Yeah.
These persons with no longer inhabitants connect. He's ruling out Giannis, Kyrie, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum. I don't know if it's going to be Justin. You know, Joel Embiid is hurt. He's not going to play.
Not sure. It might be Bam Adebayo. I'm not sure. It'd have to be a front court guy. Yeah.
This is going to be extremely unpopular, but the celebrity game is so funny to me. It's so, because look, you got, I mean, guys out there. Let me talk about this first. Jennifer Hudson is out there playing basketball right now with Meta or with Micah Parsons.
Coached by who?
Coached by, I mean, Stephen A. Smith. I think 50 Cent is a coach. Is that not hilarious to anybody else? And it's hilarious because you'll get people out there who have, you know, they've completely winged the game and they've not practiced at all, don't know how to shoot. And so I find that it's unpopular. I find it the most amusing, the most hilarious.
Give me the dunk contest. I think back to 2016, Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon, where we saw dunks we didn't even know were possible. in that great All-Star weekend back in Toronto. It's kind of lost its luster a little bit over the years. The participants get more and more random. This year we got Mac McClung, Jacob Toppin, Jalen Brown, and Jaime Hawkins Jr. Nobody really jumps off the page this year, but the potential is still high because I think a flashy dunk trumps anything in basketball. Oh, I love this. I know. Ooh,
That's the big one.
That's so cool. I'm so glad
that really is awesome. Absolutely. Who do you got? You going with Sabrina? Okay. I like it. I like it.
I got Steph, but Sabrina better do well.
I might have Steph too. It will be.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I think it's been
Yep.
It just got so good for so many years where the 3-point contest was the competition. So we should have put it last because Steph Curry changed the game of basketball. He changed the game of basketball with the three, and it just made the 3 points so interesting. And also, my boy Tyrese is trying to come back and win. He set the record for most points out around last year. Tyrese Halliburton, point guard for the Indiana Pacers. So talked about him earlier, trying to be MVP in the All-Star game. I'd love to see him get a dub.
When you first see him shoot the ball, you're like, what? What is that? What is that for? But it's money.
He's got that quick trigger, and he makes them. So I'm hoping he's going to make some fun. Pacers also got a spot in the skills challenge.
Oh yeah, they're going up against two other teams. One team has Wemby and yeah, it's like team top picks and then team all stars. All stars have like Tyrese Maxey, some other players, but I know. Yeah. One team, I believe it's Paolo, Anthony Edwards, and Wemby. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
That is awesome.
The LED court, yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Hopefully, it's not too distracting, but another cool wrinkle. Yeah. But then you see an LED ambulance just driving. It'd be crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I love it.
Wemby will be there.
I just looked up a picture. I feel like I'm looking at. Have y'all ever played 2K? Like my team, I feel like that's what I'm looking at. Imagine you play that game and you go out there and you're like, you feel like you're in the game. I feel like that's awesome.
It looks like a video game. You think so? Dang. Yes.
I'd never seen that.
I didn't know.
I just looked it up.